Hi, I've been working for remote staff since August of 2008, so that means I've been working for RS for 11 years now. Before working for remote staff, I did work in the traditional office, and one of the reasons why I got curious about working from home was I did work for an IT company, and I was doing internet research. And at some point, it did occur to me that the work that I was doing at the office, which was like an hour's commute from where I lived, was something that I could easily do from anywhere, whether it was at home or a co-working space or a coffee shop or even the beach. So I did start to look for remote work in the field that I was already working in, and I was very fortunate to find remote staff. So I think one of the biggest challenges for me when I started working from home was really separating work from my home life, and it was challenging because you have to learn how to avoid the distractions of being at home. And so that was one of the reasons why I decided to really invest in a dedicated workspace. The great thing was that even if 11 years ago, remote staff was still in its infancy, is still quite a young company, and there were only a handful of us that were even working for RS at the time. They did offer a lot of support and training and anything that I needed to really to transition into remote work as smoothly as possible. Um, so I've been very fortunate because the first client that I was assigned to when I first started with remote staff is still the client that I work for today. So I have been working for Ben for 11 years. And when I first joined his team, I was a website publishing coordinator. And essentially that means that I helped upload content on one of his many websites. And over the years, over the last 11 years, um, they've really um, they've really accepted me as a an extended member of their team, and they've been amazing. They've given me training consistently over the last 11 years, and it's allowed me to really grow and transition into other roles in the company. And today I am an investment analyst. Um, Ben founded a venture capital firm, a very successful one. And so I am now part of the team that processes and analyzes um, uh, investment applications. So it's a very exciting role, and I'm very proud to be a part of it, and to be part of um, a team that could potentially invest and discover a, um, um, a multi-billion startup. I do absolutely see myself working for this client for many more years, for however long they'll have me. Obviously, um, I have the utmost respect for them for what they do, and it makes me so incredibly proud to be a part of that team. Um, One of my favorite RS policies isn't going to be the most popular for a lot of remote workers or people who work for remote staff, and and it may come to as a surprise to some people. But one of the things that I've loved most or appreciate most and has helped me, I believe, gain more security in my job is the remote staff worker monitor. It's for those who don't know, it's a little monitor thing that pops up on your screen. It takes screen caps of your work. And the reason why I think it's helped me over these last 11 years is because it's really kind of helped me with my work management, my time management. Um, so maybe a lot of other remote workers don't appreciate having like a quote unquote big brother monitoring what they're doing, but I think that it's really helpful for those of us who are new to remote work to kind of keep us in check. And the reason is that remote work does come with a lot of distractions, and a lot of people tend to forget that they're supposed to be working. So what I say is if you're doing your job and if you're working and if you're at your computer where you should be throughout the day, then it's the screen capture tool, the monitoring tool should not be something that you fear. Obviously, one of the biggest advantages of working from home is that you don't have to endure the traffic, the commute, the long commutes that a lot of people who work in traditional offices have to subject themselves to every day just to get to work. I have friends who talk about um, being on the road for hours, and sometimes they feel like they're actually on the road longer than they are at their actual offices, and that's just something that I personally was not built for. One of the things that I have loved about working for remote staff for the last 11 years also is that it gave me and my husband the confidence to build our family. Um, it's something that we probably would not have been able to do had we worked in a traditional office space. So when I first started working for remote staff 11 years ago, I had one son. He was about 5 or 6 at the time. And over the last 11 years, we've grown our family. We now have 3 kids in all. So my eldest is now 17. I have a 9-year-old and I have a 5-year-old. And the 2 younger ones, I had them while I was working for remote staff, and it was pretty amazing to be a new mom um, and have a newborn and still be able to work and still provide for my family. And it gives me great pride that I was able to do that. So over the last 11 years, I've had a lot of people, friends, family, random people, ask me about home-based work, and they ask me to hook them up. And I think the best advice that I can give anybody who's considering working from home is to remove any of their beliefs, old beliefs or misconceptions about what remote work is. So a lot of my friends say, ay gusto ko rin yan, gusto ko kasama ko yung mga kids ko all day, and while I'm working, I can be cooking. A lot of people tend to have this idea that remote work is very easy, and because it's so easy, that's why you can do it from virtually anywhere. I've always believed that it's actually quite the opposite. Um, it's not easy work. The reason why we are blessed with the opportunity to do this work from anywhere, may it be your home or the beach or a coffee shop, is because you're able to manage your time well, and you're able to deliver results. So output is like the most important thing about this job. There's no one to micromanage you all the time. I mean, sure, there's that monitor that asks you every how many minutes to an hour or whatever the setting is, what you're doing, but ultimately you are in charge of your yourself. And at the end of every day or week or whatever the arrangement is with your client, you have to be able to deliver results. So I guess one of the main things that I would say to any aspiring remote workers out there is to look at what home-based work is differently. It's not easy work. It will demand some drastic lifestyle changes, and it will kind of force you to to really have some self-control. It's not easy working from home or anywhere that you choose, and not give in to the distractions around you. So what I would say is to really not take it for granted, and manage your time well. And as far as attitude goes, I think one of the most important ones that you should have is respect. Respect for the work, respect for your client, respect for just the opportunity that that you have, because not everyone will be lucky and successful and fortunate at finding at home-based work that that you can enjoy long term. Um, if I'd known then what I know now, I would have probably told myself 11 years ago to prepare myself that working from home would change me drastically. It would enhance my career. I would learn so much, and then in the next 11 years, I would have the opportunity and be blessed to grow my family and raise my kids the way that I had always dreamed I would be able to. And but if I think about it, I'm really glad that I didn't know then what I know now, because it's been an adventure.
Remote staff, empowering remote working relationships.